The students that I'm working with, they were very closed about what music was and what was good and what was bad. And music was good or bad. If it wasn't rap, then it was bad. Opera, for example, was very bad. Particularly bad was opera. Probably only one thing would be worse than opera, and that would be country music. That would be the way it was. So in came Randy with all of these wonderful instruments from all over the world. I proceeded just to, in a very easy way, introduce not just the instrument, but the whole world of music to them through that.
Anyway, this is from Africa. This is an orange. It's not a newt. A newt is a little lizard. You knew it. Oh, sorry. I just thought you were having a hard time here.
It's tough. To do the 8J, 9J class is really tough. It was hard. These kids are extremely demanding. But it was gratifying in that they didn't have a class like this when I was a kid. And if they did, I would have been in that class. I came from put it nicely, a troubled family. And I was a troubled kid. And now I can see that I had, a lot of interests that were very eclectic, unusual, and was very precocious and very demanding. And, I would have been right there in that class. So it was like greeting a whole classroom of myself in different degrees. And
it was a lot of fun. Our class is a class that if anyone is going to come in, they really got to grab our attention, and they really got to say, wow, if they want everyone to participate, it's got to be something that's going to grab our attention. And I think that really grabbed our attention. It was a lot of fun. Everyone liked it and enjoyed it.
He didn't just shove you off and say, yeah, I'll talk to you in a second or something like that. He actually sat down and listened to what you had to say and answered your questions, listened to your ideas, and used even some of them. So it was good.
Ones like that into ones that became what we consider as full-fledged ocarinas. These are cool. If you ever seen, they make these things out of plastic. Sometimes you go in a junk store and see a little bright, fluorescent green thing like this. And this is actually a nose flute. You can tell by the little green stuff here. And it's that was a joke. You can laugh. You actually stick this to your nose. You blow out of your nose into this, so don't do it when you have a cold. The air comes in right into your mouth, and you move your tongue back and forth, and you get a different sound.
So it was tough, but it was exciting because I could relate to them. I could relate to the kind of problems they were having, and I wanted to give them, in a sense, how I survived coming through a system that didn't understand me, coming into a society that had no place for me, and how I survived and excelled, I think, to finding a place for me and actually even gaining respect for what I was doing. So I wanted to somehow pass that energy on to those kids, and hopefully they could come through it too.
A lot of students, especially Chinese, normally they're so shy, they don't talk, but they will talk to me after the show. First thing they will say, they were so surprised, and the Chinese people can play with all those things. It's like impossible concept to them. And then I think and they realize there's a possibility the Chinese instrument, Chinese music could exist in this culture. And there's obviously reflection in their thinking, and you can guess from there, they definitely sort of open a little bit door to imagine things. It's possible the culture could be mixed, and it could be bridged by a certain way. So, and there's many times I receive this kind of message from kids.
Well, I don't think that after having been through this World Music Day experience, all these kids are suddenly going to say, you know, I'm going to stop listening to Spice Girls and I'm going to take up the pipa. But if any one of the musicians who was here over the last couple of days was able to open those kids' ears just a little bit so that they are able later to respect someone else's cultural expression, these kids will have been given a great gift, because it's a lot easier to dismiss that which you don't know than it is to open up to it. And if this couple of days has helped them open up, then they're going to be far better off in the long run.
To be able to feel that you're good at something or you're part of something is always a nice feeling. And not a lot of us play instruments, but it gave us an opportunity just to sort of feel how it's like to be, I don't know, to be a musician, though we're not really professional musicians.
Spoons. Okay, we got a lot of instruments. All right. What's the theme? You missed it.
It's just a whole bunch of noise, though.
Huh?
It's just a whole bunch of noise if we all play.
Yeah, okay, wait a second. Wait a second. He's saying it's just a whole bunch of noise if we play it all at once. I tend to agree with him. It can sound good, but after about 5 minutes, it's going to just continually sound like a bunch of noise.
It's going to sound weird.
So, okay, so now we've got all this stuff. That's cool. So how do we organize it so it doesn't just sound like a bunch of noise?
Can we have this thing first? No, you have this thing first.
If you can stimulate the creativity in somebody, you can stimulate their survival skills. You can make them prepared to survive anything out there. You know, no matter what it's like, how tough it is, you can find a way to deal, you know, to survive. And I think that's important for kids. And I think that's something that an artist who's had that experience can give to them. Plus, while we're doing that, we tend to find beauty in the world, you know, which is the other aspect. So it's not a miserable experience, it's a joyous experience. You know, we find a way to survive and actually have a good time doing it. And not a lot of people can say that.
For me, after so many years of traveling the world, studying, gathering all this experience, it's a real joy to be able to just let it flow out of me and enrich other people's lives who haven't had that kind of experience, and seeing it sprout, you know, in these kids' lives. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's, for me, a fundamental part of what I have to give as a human being. And I think it's simply one of the most important things I am doing right now. Yeah.
I think I would like to leave the kids with an open mind, you know. Leave them with that attitude that, hey, it's a great world. There's lots of things out there to see and do, and not have any fears or prejudices against colors of people or cultures or traditions, you know. So that's why we play all these different instruments, different cultures, and different, you know, interpretations of things, and hopefully it plants that seed that they're curious about the world and they're open to it, and they're not scared by it. It would be kind of neat to leave that.